Hello everyone, my name is Vimal Raj. I'm a lecturer from Mechanical Department from James Polytechnic College, Aurangabad, Bihar. So today we are going to see unit number 2, that is from the topic called ferrous metal alloys. So this is lecture number 14, and today we are going to discuss about the magnetic materials, and this is from the subject called Mechanical Engineering Materials. That is, the subject code is 1625304. So the content that we're going to discuss today is introduction, terms connected with magnetic materials, classification with their properties, and hysteresis and the applications. First one is the introduction. So what is mean by magnetic materials? Magnetic materials are those materials in which a state of magnetization can be induced. Such material, when magnetized, creates a magnetic field in the surrounding. So basically magnetic materials nothing but these are the materials which has the uh, ability to be magnetized and create a magnetic field around the surrounding spaces. So for example, magnetic materials which will have a magnetization, which is have a state of magnetization. See, I would say like if you take a pin, okay, pin is a best example. So when you use a pin, just have a pin at one end and have a magnet on another end. So first touch the pin on the top, and after that if you touch the pin with another pin, this pin will attract another pin. So that is called the magnetic material. So wherein which it creates a magnetic field around its surrounding spaces. So when you use a magnet for a pin, this pin will be attached to that magnet, right? So which will be magnetized. So after that, when you use the same pin to catch another pin, this pin will catch another pin. So that is called the that's called the magnetic materials, okay, which has a property of getting magnetized in the surrounding spaces. So next one is the terms connected to the magnetic material. So these are the terms. So most of you guys might not know it. So first one is the magnetic force. So basically magnetic force is nothing but the influence of a moving electric charges or electric current and the magnetizing materials. Okay, so basically it is nothing but it magnetic force is nothing but the attraction or repulsion that arises between electrically charged particles because of their motion. So basically it is nothing but attraction or repulsion that which comes between the electrically charged particles because of their motion. Okay, so that is the magnetic force. So magnetic force between two moving charges may be described as the effect exerted upon either change charged by magnetic field created by the others. So next one is the magnetic flux density. So basically, magnetic flux density is nothing but is defined as the amount of magnetic fluxes in area. So magnetic fluxes is nothing but first I want to give you a flux means these are the lines that is passing through a given area. The magnetic lines that is passing through the given areas. Okay, that is called the flux. So magnetic flux is nothing but it is defined as the amount of magnetic fluxes in an area that is taking perpendicularly to the magnetic flux direction. So basically when I will show you a diagram. So if this is the magnetic lines, so when it is acting perpendicularly, it's called perpendicular. So this is a magnetic flux direction, and this is the perpendicular area. So the area taken perpendicular to the magnetic flux direction is called as magnetic flux. Next one is the magnetic field strength. So magnetic field strength is nothing but which is required to create a certain flux density within a certain material per unit length of that material. So basically it's nothing but in order to create a certain flux density within a certain material per unit length of that material. So that is called the magnetic field strength. So basically, a relative permeability is nothing but it is defined as the ratio of the material permeability to the permeability of free space. So permeability is nothing but a flow. Okay, the flow. if it's a flow of a liquid like that. So that's called the permeability. So relative permeability nothing but it's defined as the ratio of a material permeability to the permeability of free space or a vacuum. So that is called the permeability. Okay. So in permeability in electromagnetism, permeability is the measure of the resistance of material against the formation of a magnetic field, otherwise known as distributed inductance in transmission line theory. Hence, it is the degree of magnetization that a material obtains in response to a applied magnetic field. So absolute permeability is nothing but the ability of the ability of anything to be flowing through the permeable area when this where the ratio of the magnetic flux density to the magnetic field strength at a point in a material medium. Okay, so basically it's a ratio of a magnetic flux density to a magnetic field strength. Okay, so next one is the remanence, wherein which remanence or remanent magnetization or the residual magnetism is the magnetization left behind in a ferromagnetic material such as iron after an external magnetic field is removed. Okay, so retentivity is nothing but the ability of a substance to retain or resist magnetization. So that is called the retentivity. So Curie temperature is nothing but uh, at certain point or Curie point where the temperature above a certain material loses their permanent magnetic property. So basically, the substance which loses permanent magnetic property is called the Curie temperature. So basically the Hysteresis loop shows the relationship between the intensity of magnetization and the magnetic field. So the loop is generated by measuring the magnetic flux coming out from a ferromagnetic substance while changing the external magnetic field. So these are the classifications. First one is the ferromagnetic, paramagnetic, diamagnetic, magnetic soft material, magnetic hard material. So there are only 5 types of magnetic things are there. This is the classification. Okay, the first one is the ferromagnetic. So a type of material that is used, that is highly attracted to magnets and can become permanently magnetized in, it's called the magnet. So basically, ferromagnetic is nothing but these are the materials which have the highly attracted to magnets. So they have a high attraction towards a magnet, where which it becomes permanently magnetized. So basically, it becomes a magnet. It will be attached to the magnet. After that, it cannot be removed. So that is called the ferromagnetics. Okay, the ability of a material to be highly attracted and becomes permanently magnetized is called the ferromagnetic. So the relative permeability is much greater than utility and are dependent on the field of strength. These have high susceptibility. Okay. So these are the ferromagnetic materials. Whereas, okay, so this is how the magnetism in the magnetic property acts in this. So if you see this material, so very much the magnetic field acts towards in this direction. So because of that, what happens is this material becomes permanently magnetized. Next one is the paramagnetic. So it is a substance or a body which very weakly attracted to the poles of magnet but not retain any permanent magnetism. So basically, this is type of paramagnetism in which the body which will be very weakly attracted by the poles, the south and north poles. So which is weakly attracted to the poles of the magnet. So and which will not retain any permanent magnetism. So basically, this will not be permanently magnetized. So these have the relative permeability slightly greater than the unity and are magnetized slightly. So basically, these materials will not be magnetized uh, permanently, and which is having a slightly greater than the utility, unity, and are magnetized slightly, only little bit they will be magnetized. So at at any point of time they can be removed. Okay, so they attracted the lines of forces weakly, so the lines of forces will be very weak. So this is an example of the paramagnetism, where which you could see the material wherein the lines of forces, it's it's not it is not passing inside it, so that it is not a it will not be highly magnetized. Next one is the diamagnetic. So it is a substance which creates a magnetic field in opposite to an external applied force. Diamagnetic is a substance which creates a magnetic field in opposite to any external applied field. Susceptibility is negative. So these have relative permeability slightly less than the unity. They repel the lines of force slightly. So basically, this diamagnetic is a substance in which it will be repelled, which will be repelled by a magnetic field. So this is called the diamagnetism. So it has a repulsive nature. When you see the diamagnetism, see the repulsive nature. So the magnetic soft materials, okay, these are the magnetic soft materials. The characteristics are like this: they have high permeability. The magnetic energy stored is not high. So the magnetic energy stored is not high. They have negligible corrosive forces. They have low remanence. Hysteresis loop is narrow. So we all know what is hysteresis, remanence, all these things, right? So they have high permeability. The magnetic energy stored is not high, and they have a negligible corrosive forces. They have low remanence. Shear loop is narrow. And examples are pure or ingot iron, cast iron, carbon steel, manganese, and nickel steels. So magnetically hard materials. They possess high value of BH products, high retentivity, high porosity, strong magnetic reluctance. The series loop is more rectangular in shape. These are the examples: tungsten steel, cobalt steel, chromium steel. So basically, they possess high value, and they have strong magnetic reluctance. So reluctance, the meaning of reluctance is nothing but unwilling or disinclination to do something. So basically, the property of magnetic circuit of opposing the passage of magnetic flux lines. So basically, a strong magnetic reluctance means it will not allow any magnetic lines to pass through that particular material. This is the prestigious, in which you could see the corrosive forces over here. This is a remanence. This is structuralization. When we see the applications, ferromagnet materials used in the magnetic recording devices such as for the cassette tapes, floppy disks for computers, and the magnetic strips on the back of the credit cards. So because ferromagnet is having the permanent magnetic property, diamagnetic materials are used for the magnetic levitation, where an object will be made to float in a strong magnet. So basically, diamagnetic is used as a levitation purpose. So you could see it here, the material has been levitated, right? Levitation is nothing but during the magic and all, people used to fly sitting from a table, suddenly they will start to fly, right? So this is the diamagnetic property. So they use this technique for the levitation. Magnetic soft meters are used in making electromagnets, and these electromagnets are used in telephone receiver bells and see telephones in our earphones and all. They use this magnetic soft materials, okay. And the magnetic hard materials are used in making permanent magnets. So basically, when they use permanent magnets, in order to make the permanent magnets, they use this magnetic hard materials. So with that, we just come to the conclusion. So today we discussed about the introduction, terms connected with magnetic materials, classification properties, histories and applications. Here is a reference book. Thank you guys.